Hello, and very warm welcome to the Ask the Accountant Watch Series. We've got a very different episode today. We are now going to be going in live to you wonderful people. I'm going to be talking all about the world of MTD and especially Xero. So I'm really excited for this one. Powered by the Ask the Accountant Network, this is a show that we cut through the noise and dive into the MTD, which really means for your practice, from pricing preparation to the tools that helping firms get ahead. We're part of the Ask the Accountant Network, and I'm the QuickBooks chap. What's your title?
My name's Johan. Which title am I going for? So,
co-host.
Co-host of Ask the Accountant, managing director of On Point Accounting, and co-founder and chief growth officer for Engager.
James,
how am I going to follow that?
I know, right?
So, I'm James Goulsbra.
Try and add an extra hat. That's
okay.
Yeah,
I'm James Goulsbra, obviously part of GTA Accounting. Also do the Being Accountant Boss podcast in there.
Yeah.
And
And then Lego connoisseur.
Oh, I like Lego. Yeah, definitely build Lego a lot.
Yeah,
it keeps me out of trouble.
There we are. And Amy, do you want to go next? Who are you and why are you here?
Hi everyone. Hashtag audit Amy. I'm trying to figure out the world of MTD like everyone else. So we're going through these series, going through all the softwares, trying to figure out what to do. And yeah, come join us on this journey. And we've got a crowded room today. I feel like Johan needs the hashtag though.
Hashtag liability.
Don't give him another hat.
We
You need another poll.
AA. Is that what we're saying?
Oh yeah, hashtag AA
for you, Amy.
Yeah.
Let's not start
You
this.
can't quite see. Have you got the audit hashtag audit Amy behind you or not?
She's in the office.
No, I'm in the office today, but I have got
Yeah, you're really far away from us for reasons for audio purposes, but we won't bore you with that one. And then obviously we have hashtag MTD Queen. Suzannah, how have you been?
Hiya. Yeah, okay, thank you. Bit panicked when we didn't go live, but no, we're all sorted now.
It's completely my fault. Yeah, technology was against us today, unfortunately. Yeah, I mean, if you ever, we'll try and get a social on there. We have so many cameras, lights, and everything pointing us. How this didn't work.
It's getting hot in here.
And producer Lizzie, please try and take a photo of that mess of wires that we've got going there, because that's a fire hazard if I've ever seen one.
I think this is a typical Ask the Accountant mantra of great idea, poorly executed.
Exactly. In this series, we'll be preparing the true cost of MTD readiness, exposing the common pitfalls, and grilling the software vendors on what's working. That's exactly what we're going to do. We've got our Xero spotlight today, and we thought, James,
and I'm wearing green.
Yeah,
awesome,
I did think this. You know, it's like making sure that Sage and QuickBooks are still represented.
We got presents somewhere.
Yeah. They look like free agent traders as well.
Maybe.
Potentially. Talk about sitting on the fence. No, we're going to be listening to you on Xero. And we thought, well, Johan's here, and Johan's a convert to Xero now. He's decided that Xero is the way forward, so we're going to listen to them as well. We're broadcasting live across LinkedIn, YouTube, and Instagram, and this episode will also be available on demand for your listening pleasure as well. Be sure to follow, subscribe, and don't miss out a moment of the new series. And if you like watching live, drop a question in the curveballs. I can't see any of the questions there, so maybe Lizzie, if you could shout out, and I'll.
Please read Marcus's comment.
Marcus asked, so which one is there three Jonas Brothers?
Yes.
Okay, right. I thought there was only two. Why don't I think there's two?
Joe and Nick are the most famous ones, I think.
There you go.
I hate to tell you this.
Oh, what? How did that happen? So I'm the irrelevant one, everyone. Hashtag irrelevant.
Go on, Johan, which one? Joe or Nick?
God, Amy, which one's which? Do you know the names off by heart?
I only know Joe and Nick. I
So
don't know
that's
the other
which
one.
is Joe and which is Nick.
Is it Kevin? I don't know.
Wait, I'm just irrelevant. So like, which is
I
Joe
don't
and
know.
which is Nick out of these two?
I'm thinking James might be Nick.
James
Is
is
that a good
hashtag
thing?
Nick.
I don't know. Is that
And I would say Johan maybe.
Maybe
I'm going to
Right.
Google this.
So now we know
Listen
which is
to
the
do a
Jonas Brothers, isn't
comparison
it?
later.
He's putting up the screen with it so we can see. Yeah.
With this being such a crazy episode, do let us know in the comments any technical difficulties, sound, and all that lot. We're very hopeful you can let us know on that. Right, let's get into the crux of this episode. Xero, they've come to the MTD forefront. I've heard. Little birdie told me they realise MTD is coming, which is always a good sign. It's always a good start, right? And they've definitely done a big push. I saw them at the ICAW's small practice event, and they were showcasing their Xero proness and what they've got there. But James, talk to me through, from your point of view, where Xero are now and how they're helping your practice. Go for it.
So where are they now? Obviously, they have had to play catch up. I mean, they were probably the last ones listening out of all the software packages to embrace MTD tax. How they're supporting us as a practice, it's a bit clunky. We're having to work around a few things, but we know how Xero works as a practice. So therefore, we're able to know the right bottom be with it. Obviously, for us, it's just we've got clients who are using it from the documents that we do, so it's just meant we can just pull stuff in. To look at the quarterly submission. And there
must be confidence with that, like if you've been using it for so long and everything else.
Yeah, I'll be honest. You have to invest some time into it, especially when, because obviously what Xero are very good at is saying chart of accounts or automatically map into the tax categories they call it. But if you have a bespoke chart of accounts, it doesn't map. You have to then go make sure you're mapping it.
Interesting.
That you have to make sure that works. If you've got yourself or a client has added in a nominal code.
Interesting.
You need to make sure it's mapping into the tax category.
So when you set up that chart of account, you can't map it there and then.
You can, yeah.
Oh, right.
Yeah, but you
can.
It
doesn't force you to.
No. Literally, if it doesn't, it will sit. There's you can disregard quite a lot of the chart of accounts.
Wow. And does that mean it just doesn't pull through to the thing? Wow.
Yeah.
That's so you got to get some
controls a warning over.
Yeah, exactly. That's not quite as a highlight as much, because they do say the chart of accounts automatically feeds through the tax categories. Travel wages, those sort of categories. So my advice is make sure you do invest some time, especially if you know you've got the client where you run the bespoke chart of accounts or have free range software.
Yeah. And I think that's kind of just highlighting some controls really need to be put in place there, right? And put there, which is hashtag Older Amy's favorite word is controls. Suzannah, you're using Xero for your MTD pilot, is that right?
I'm trying to, but I'm still on the waiting list, and I've been on the waiting list now for about 4 or 5 months. Quite a long. Well, no, maybe not quite as long as that, but I was on it well before the last quarter end.
Okay.
So I've missed that, which I know we don't get any penalties for in this phase, but it's not a great look. And I don't know, I'm a bit upset about it, to be honest, because they were encouraging everyone to sign up and they didn't tell us that it wasn't ready. So
sorry to jump in. Would you say that from your point of view it's a pitfall that Xero have done? They're not able to give the customer support as quick as the others, maybe.
Maybe, yeah, I think so. I just think, they should have managed expectations on that a bit better, because when you sign up, you have to sign up with HMRC first and say that I have got digital compatible software that is ready to go, and it isn't ready to go. And Xero make you do that before you sign up for the Xero pilot. So
that's quite interesting, because obviously when you do the sign up, you've got to go with HMRC, you then got to go with Xero. We've also got to verify your clients. So you're going through the ID checks, the passport, the national insurance, the address, the business name, the business start date. So Xero has obviously put that on there when they're talking about this is what we can do.
Yeah.
But as we go back to, you have to invest time, because actually it's not as quick a process. You're waiting for them to do something at the back end. So it does work.
Yeah.
And once it's there, it flows nicely. But I think if you're going to go in the beta phase, you need to make sure you're come up with a good strategy to implement it.
Definitely. And functionality wise, what we're saying is it pretty much just like an extra tab on your top row, or
so if you have once you've got them signed up and you're on it, you obviously have a business accounting, and then the tax one pops up on the top.
Yeah.
So it's there, it's part of it, and actually they just changed all the user face now, so it all looks very different.
Nice.
But it's still at the top.
Yeah. Have they mentioned anything about multi properties, or when there's multi users or multi things or anything like that? Is that down the later roadmap?
So what you have to, as with any other software, you have to do 2 submissions.
Yeah.
So they have obviously said that has to happen. What they need to probably do a bit more of is have a bit more sort of demos, which obviously we had obviously Accountech Summit yesterday. I was tackling them about that.
Yeah.
because if you're not aware, then you can have your sole trade in there, but then you need to have your property in and need to set up as tracking categories. So you've got it to be able to pull through. So when it comes through into the tax part, you obviously got your sole trade coming through, but you can do a drop down and then you can see the rental. So you can do it as all rolled up into one.
Yeah.
But my advice would be you have the properties identified as the separate properties. Then when you're in there, you can obviously manipulate. You can add in, if you've got more the owners, it's not 50-50, the percentage.
Yeah.
And that's how it will go report through to HMRC. But of course, then you've got to do it on the other individuals.
And is it feeding and connecting, or is it manual?
It feeds in. So so no different. Like you got your profit and loss.
Yeah.
You have your turnover for your sole trade, but you have your turnover for your property. But then that you can.
But you've just got to go to each.
Yeah. You track it. And tracking category allows you to identify which is the turnover. For that property.
Yeah.
That's how they're identifying it.
Okay.
In Xero.
That's an interesting way of doing it. And Suzannah, even though you've not able to get through the beta yet and the sign up, do you see any of this functionality yet at the moment, or do you have to wait for you to get that sign up completed?
I haven't seen anything yet. No, but I wanted to ask James a question actually, just on what you were saying there. So if it's 50-50 owned property, are you having to where do you make the adjustment in Xero or before?
You can do it in Xero. So you can put in. So you put in. Obviously, you can put the whole. You could go in and actually have it so you can go a long-winded way probably and have and the revenue goes in and then you can take 50% of it out for a journal.
Yeah.
Or you just report 50% of the revenue on that person. But in the final bit, when you do the drop down, you can have the total revenue of that property there, or the total income, expenses, and profit. But when you put the percentage in, it will work it out. So you have that capability within the tax bit right at the end, but they don't talk about that. That's my main pain point. And what I was trying to tackle them yesterday at the summit was you need to be showing people that, and you need to be showing demos of it because they don't actually have it as a demo.
Yeah. And in fairness,
you'd have to do it with the journal, but that's another option then. So that's interesting to know. I wasn't aware of that. Okay,
but then not many people are. That's what I'm saying. It's kind of, unless you start playing with it, you're kind of fumbling along the wrong way.
Yeah.
So
hence why I want to get on this pilot.
Yeah. And in fairness to Xero and all of the softwares out there, because of the delays, because we've had the moving thing, it's always been difficult. Because in an ideal world, we would have had that set date. All the software vendors would have planned accordingly, and we'd have had teething problems like this and sort it out. Now we're always playing catch up, right?
Yeah.
And outside looking, it feels like Xero's playing the most amount of catch up, but they've also probably got sick and tired of being burnt, right? Like there's probably that side of things as well. But we need this testing phase to figure this sort of out, right?
But you definitely. And also, they even the demo, they say that you'll be able to see the tax bit as soon as you've done your quarterly submission. That actually doesn't work yet. So see, they're saying it's HMRC's in. You actually talk to HMRC. They're saying it's a Xero thing. So that's why I think the more and more people need to get on it to understand where the potential issues could be and how they can navigate around it. And ultimately that just feeds back into Xero because they're just going to make it better. Make it better.
Yeah. Hashtag audit Amy. Are you using any of Xero at the moment?
No, so I would like to bring it back to right to the beginning because I don't even know the names of the licenses now. I think there's an Ignite or something. So I've got clients that use Xero. I've got no sole traders on Xero. I want to understand from the start, what packages have we got? Is MTD across all the packages? Is it an add-on? Is it part of it? Is it at the top like everything else at the top? Can we go right back to the beginning, especially for the listeners that probably aren't using Xero at all? And is it a viable option for them? Like, is it
That's
free?
a great question. And obviously they've clearly built something new for this, right?
Yeah, so what they've done is they've brought out Simple. Yeah. So that's the £7 a month package. That's what they're trying to say. If you're non-VAT, you go for that one.
Okay.
It has HubDoc in it. It has ability to put 10 quotes, invoices a month. And obviously then it's just literally the manual bank feed in, and you can got your cash coding, which means you can do bulk reconciliation. The MTD is part of it, but also you've got to sign up. You've got to make sure you might have the package, but it doesn't automatically enter that person into the beta phase. You have to make sure you register the individuals as part of it in order to the tax thing to come in. But you can do your MTD tax via it. So you've got Simple, then you've got the next one, which is Ignite. So obviously that's what they're saying the startup businesses. Then you've got Grow. Then you go Comprehensive. And then you go Ultimate.
Yeah.
Through all the packages, you can do MTD income tax filing. Obviously, from Ignite, you can start to do MTD VAT. But you're again limited on 20 invoices and obviously 10 bills. And then obviously it goes to Comprehensive, and then you're paying, quite a lot, but you have to do a lot. And then that activates Sift in it as well.
Oh, interesting.
So you
Am I right in thinking there's no purchase ledger with Simple?
No.
It's just like a cash book.
You don't have a, it's very, it's simple.
Pretty much cash.
It's pretty much it. Yeah. And obviously once you go to Ignite, you can change the, accruals. But equally, when you're registering for MTD income tax, you can say to HMRC or even Xero, you've got the option to say whether it's cash or accruals. Yeah. So whilst you're doing a fine, you've got that option to do it. Yeah. What to say earlier.
So in Simple, you only have the cash. It's only cash option, no bills, bank feed coming in, multiple bank feeds.
No, I mean, we've only got one on it. It's got one on it. So it's something I don't know more about the multiple, but I know you do have multiple going up. I think it's pretty much just a simple, one feed coming in.
Yeah.
Okay, so if we've got brand new clients, we're having to think about what number of invoices are they going to do? Because there's a restriction.
Yeah, I think the restriction is the 10 invoices. Admittedly, like you could have someone that's a 30k turnover sole trade, but they have a hell of a lot of invoices.
£100 an invoice.
Yeah, it does. And then you think you're restricted to then automatically you're moving them up to the Ignite.
But
presumably you can upgrade them quite easily, can you? It's not like a migration.
And change subscription.
Yeah.
And it activates it instantly. The price changes the month after.
Yeah, I can think of several of my sole trader clients that trade online and they do basically work cash accounting. So actually sending invoices is not going to be an issue for them.
It's not, is it? No.
Because they're just going to be, it's the money that comes into the bank.
It's just a receipt.
That's what we deal with.
Yeah.
So that works. That's why Simple's obviously brought out.
Yeah.
Just to really make it as easy as possible. Not add to the other burden.
But to be fair, that's no different to what QuickBooks have launched with self-employed, because there's no balance sheet on self-employed, is there?
Yeah, for the accountant, though, it's not for the client.
It's not for the accountant, not for the client. But so that's not too different.
No, in my head, that's what's comparison, because everyone I know, I predominantly use QuickBooks. But I think the sales invoice restriction, probably thinking for me, if I'm thinking about some of my, sorry everyone, my CIS clients, if they're working on different jobs each day, they're going to quite easily get up to that 10. And then they're going to, what was it, £7 a month up to Ignite, which is it 33? Or am I getting, is that?
No, that's Grow.
No, that's Grow.
There's one in the middle. It's a
Ignite £16 a month.
Okay. And that's VAT registered as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can file VAT with it.
Okay.
Does it have the CIS module on the Simple and Ignite? Asking for Amy.
Not simple. Ignite, you do. Grow definitely does. I'm trying to remember. Ignite has. You can add payroll for one, but that's £1.50.
Yeah.
Add on, so you can add the payroll on if they've got a payroll on a sole trade. And obviously the more with Grow, it's in there already as part of it, and then I think up to 5, and then it will go add on. Comprehensive goes up again, and more you add on, another £1.50.
Okay, so if you were using the whole Xero ecosystem, there are different things for different clients.
Yeah.
Does it all look the same? So if I'm training my staff to use Xero, it's all going to be exactly.
Oh yeah, there's no change in the user face. It's just the constraints behind it.
Yeah, they put the balls up, haven't they?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, Johan, from your point of view, you've moved your client base over from other software to this one. Was MTD a consideration at this point, or was this you had to move because you bought that new firm and they were very Xero focused?
No, we've been a hybrid for quite a while. For the last 2 years, we've been a hybrid because we decided QuickBooks wasn't ideal for the majority of our new clients coming on board, who were bigger clients. But then QuickBooks is changing how many users you can have and all your restrictions in their tariffs. Basically, at that point, I threw the blanket in. I threw in the towel. I gave up with them. I have still got clients on QuickBooks, but they are clients that log in on their own accord. We've not had that conversation with them yet. So we're the clients we've moved to Xero are clients that have not logged into QuickBooks in over a year. So it's just us doing with it. So it has no impact on the client where we do it. We probably put them on the QuickBooks at the time. And now the goalposts have moved. We've had to reassess our evaluation. MTD is not really a consideration of ours for Xero.
Okay.
Like, majority of our clients are large and they're limited companies. And we feel that we've got enough options in the form of free agent with Metal Banking to offer a free software solution for MTD. We've got tax calc for filing MTD quarters for anyone that's still using spreadsheets or anything, or we want to just do the old-fashioned way manually. If we've got a client that is on QuickBooks and staying as a sole trader and they use QuickBooks, then we will use the MTD filing solution there if we need to. But we're also considering actually just filing everybody through tax calc, because they're going to have a button that pulls in your trial balance like it does for a set of accounts or a tax return today into the MTD filing tool. Why learn 5 different filing processes when you can just learn one in tax calc, which pulls it all through? So yeah, no, moving to Xero was not, MTD was not even on, it wasn't even discussed. Not an issue at all. It's not the type of client I'd normally put onto Xero, and it wasn't that kind of client that made us move to Xero. It was our bigger clients who had multiple users trying to log in. The user permissions in QuickBooks were crap. And then they started reducing the amount of users because the accountants started counting as a user. And all of a sudden we had people being forced to go into higher tariffs. And it was actually cheaper for our clients to move them to Xero and improve their user permissions.
Okay, cool.
But doesn't Xero just has different restrictions? So looking from my point of view, talking about the sales invoices, to me, because there's on the QuickBooks side, there's no restrictions on that. So although I understand, it's just you're moving from one restrictions to different restrictions.
Yeah, but we're not. These clients had no issues with that. None of these clients went to Simple or Ignite. All these clients were minimum comprehensive or grow, and then comprehensive. So actually, like this, that wasn't a factor. These are multi-million turnover clients. These are clients that they want the office admin to be able to go in and raise a sales invoice or add a bill, but they don't want to see the bank feed.
Yeah.
And
I get that.
They might have 3 part-time office people, plus your accountant, plus one business owner, and I've suddenly breached a QuickBooks user limit. So yeah, the restrictions that are enforced in the lower packages just weren't. That we weren't even looking at lower packages for these guys. That wasn't an issue.
I mean, I get where you're coming from, Amy, but also the Xero pitching is like it's an end-to-end process.
Oh yeah, I'm just thinking about my client. If I was looking at my client base now, ones that don't have software, and I'm thinking, right, I want to get them on software.
You'd be looking at Ignite and Grow more than anything, rather than Simple.
So what's Simple for them?
It's like they said, it's just one literally to just cash things, and the cash comes to the bank. It's just easily reconciled.
Although I think we're looking at Simple in the wrong way here.
Probably
we're all looking at Simple like it's for us, but actually, is Simple not just more there for people that are going to do their own MTD filings, and they've got really basic books, and they don't even use an accountant or a bookkeeper?
Yeah, maybe.
But to my point, I'd say wasn't Xero Go better for that? Xero Go was a much simpler product for them. It had its flaws, and we can talk about those flaws.
It's just evolved into Simple.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
But is it though? Because it's still like one of the things that I love about what's happened with the MTD space is it's made the vendors rethink a lot of things. They brought in more simplest QuickBooks Sole Trader, for example, or even free agents found ways to simplify things for it and make it much simpler. Because prior to MTD, they were quite restrictive on getting transactions and everything else. Now they found ways to make it and work with the clients more. Isn't just offering the same product but gatekeeped a little bit, isn't that quite intimidating for this type of client? Because this type of clients, there's a reason they've not gone to digital yet. They're intimidated by software. They're struggling to adopt it. They're struggling to find the way. Wouldn't Xero better off creating something that was just simple for them, which was what Xero Go was.
Yeah,
at
no,
that
I
point,
get what
right?
you're saying. I think perhaps what they're trying to do is bridge the gap. So you've gone from someone who's on spreadsheets, not sure what to do, going to simple. And then they've realised actually it's working under another package. So what they've done is kind of said, look, this is here. Find your feet. But not really going to be on another package very long. So I get where you're coming from, and it is actually, you look at it and go, it could be restrictive. Well, it is restrictive.
But also from a software owner's point of view, right? There's a certain aspect of this where you have, as the software vendor, have they just gone, look, we need to put something in place so it looks like we have an offering in that part of the market, but we're not really. £7 a month. Xero aren't going to get excited about £7 a month licenses. Like, do they really care whether it works on, if it takes off or not? It obviously it's got to work functionally, but do they care if it takes off and makes them famous or not? Or are they just putting this in place so that people that want it have it? Because at that lower end, you've got so much competition now. You've got QuickBooks, you've got Sage, you've got Free Agent, now got Briefcase, we've now got Dext. Like, that lower value end, is it just a play just to be seen as relevant, whereas actually they're not really planning on making lots of money out of this? It's just we need to tick a box exercise.
Feels that way. I mean,
Although I actually probably agree with that. I think, as I said earlier, it's there when you got the spreadsheet people, they go straight into simple, and they realise it's not. It's going to have to go off another package.
So BTC last week announced that they are not supporting MTD quarterly filings because ultimately their focus is on mid-tier businesses. Yeah. The MTD thing is going to be so time-consuming and so resource cost intensive from support, development. Actually, is it worth being in that space? When actually BTC businesses generally are larger businesses. They're not sole traders. They're not individuals. They are limited companies, partnerships, etc., with a big turnover that need good account software. Like, they've decided not to tick that box. They've decided we're not interested in that market. Xero can't not tick that box because they will get hung out to dry by Sage and QuickBooks and Free Agent.
Yeah, and I also think that you've already got a lot of people who are using Ignite and Grow. They're not going to go down to simple.
No.
Because obviously with the features that they're used to having, you know, we as accountants, obviously, and bookkeepers are, you know, what we're used to. There are quite a lot of our clients, sole traders, who do their own stuff, and they like Xero because of how relatively easy it is. But they've really got into a system of raising invoices, putting stuff into HubDoc, pushing it through, it goes into the purchase ledger, and they reconcile it. So, yeah, they're not going to go down just to save money. So it is an interesting thing that they have it, but I think it's there just maybe it's a ticker box exercise. I don't that's a Xero to sort of say why they've done it, but it does. I mean, when you put someone in and on simple, it works. It does work. So it's insane. So even from the simple package, it will feed into the income tax bit, and as long as they've not created a bespoke chart of accounts, and then it all flows through. So from that point of view, you're reassured.
Yeah, and you know, I completely see this whole idea that end to end, from your staff point of view, it's the same software, isn't it? They'll understand it. They get it from day one. They can support the clients. They can help the clients, and they'll probably come to a point when they'll be able to explain to the client when it's time to move because they'll understand what the features are going to benefit. The clients aren't going to know, especially a new to franchise, aren't going to know what this restrictions mean really most of the time, will they? What do you mean I can't put a bill in? Well, what even is a bill? Do you know what I mean? Like,
they just go and ignore it.
Yeah, exactly. And they're going to wait for people like us to come along and tell them. My only point, if it is a tick box, and we're only, you know, assuming
so
here,
tinfoil hat moment.
Tinfoil hat moment. But if it is, isn't that a real risk? Because putting a tick box there can be really damaging to a brand if it's just it's not fulfilling the actual tick box, right? It's just a half-hearted attempt. I mean,
but it's functional. It's filing that you've ticked the tick box.
They can argue that I can see the argument. They're saying they can say we're providing this and it flows through and it works. So why would you not want to use it? That's what they're saying.
Yeah.
Obviously, we're looking at it from a different side, aren't we? We're tackling it. We're interrogating it. We're looking at it. And we're trying to we are making people aware of it, but we're also pulling it apart. Like you say at the start, we're trying to look at the pitfalls, and that particular package is a pitfall. because we're worried that the risk it brings to our clients.
Yeah.
So basically, as someone that's not using it, what I'm hearing is if you're not a massive Xero user, don't bother, because it's not anything that's going to enhance your life. But if you are a Xero user, predominantly use Xero, and you've got MTD clients, they put something in place for it to be functional, to be able to do it. So,
Yes.
but then again, obviously next week we're going to be talking about tax calc. So if you are using that for year-end filing, the Xero's not singing and dancing like maybe some of the others are doing about MTD. That's the vibe I'm feeling from you guys. It's not singing and dancing. So probably not for someone who's not predominantly a Xero user. Like, don't bother, because it's just functional.
No,
So
I get it.
Xero, but why would I learn something if they're not putting the effort in to make it? They're just
But does it need to be all singing and dancing? Like,
I'm not saying that.
we get my granddad a cheap mobile phone. It does what he needs it to do. He doesn't need an Apple iPhone 17 Pro Max to do what he needs it to do. So
we've also got the message from HMRC a couple of months ago, which was, we just need to see income and expenditure.
Yeah.
We don't care. We're not really interested. We just want to see it on a quarterly basis. So you've got HMRC giving that message. So Xero could say, well, actually, we've hit on that. We've been able to do that for you.
But my point is, though, and back to that analogy there, well, the reason you're not going to give your dad a complicated phone is going to be too complicated for him. He's not going to want to have 14 million apps. He doesn't need free cameras. He doesn't. Actually, that brick phone, whatever it is the perfect tool for him.
And that's what we're saying about Xero Simple, though.
But it's not.
It will be a simple.
It's not, though, because it's still that they log in, they're seeing the whole Xero experience. It's not a simplified.
I get it, because I don't feel, if you're a sole trader with over £50,000, you're not going to be using Simple.
No.
Are you? You're going to be using the other packages.
There's too many complexities to that business, whether it's bills, invoices, CIS, VAT, whatever it is. Once you get to that point, you're going to be on Ignite.
Yeah, exactly. So Ignite's kind of the starting point, I think. If you look at it, Grow.
Simple. I've not got anyone who isn't on in Xero who isn't on anything lower than Grow. Is the only one.
Oh, really?
Standard one. Yeah, I've not used any of the basic ones.
Yeah, so we've only got a couple on Ignite. Again, I think if having using Xero so much and watching how we've been trying to get through the beta phase and working how it goes through, they are probably trying to drive you to, obviously, if you're a Xero partner, you've obviously got Xero HQ.
Yep.
That allows you to see once the income MTD income tax is mandated, you have all your clients on there. You can see the tax owed.
So you'll get a holistic view.
You got all the quarterly filings. Nice. You can see what the tax is kind of the calculations that's going along. So you can see that. Like, I think they're trying to drive people into that. Utilize us as the whole system.
It's a solution for those Xero only practices, I guess.
Yeah, no, it is.
It wouldn't be my go-to for those really small clients who don't require that standard Grow license. If they don't require that, I'm going to be looking at free agent for them.
Yeah, no, I totally get that as well. So much as we are predominantly Xero, we have a lot of clients on Xero. You could say more of it is limited company type of thing.
Yeah,
but what we've done as a practice is we've kind of looked at QuickBooks, free agent, Xero, and we've put a couple of clients in each beta phase to see what works. So that's so we can understand, see what what software works well. Yeah. But equally, as I said to you before, and I think, have I now spread myself too thin? Because I've now got clients on this package, this package, this package, this package, and when it comes to the quarterly filing, I've got to remember in that package.
I know.
Do I then go, right, do I bring them out and bring them into tax calc?
That's exactly what I'm thinking.
Going into one hub. Now Xero obviously can report directly into tax calc.
Yeah.
So you've got that feature as well, which is quite good, as does QuickBooks and so forth. But I'm saying, so there's that reassurance that even if you are using another system for end process, the final submission, it will still feed in.
But there's also a potentially genius move here from free agent. So I don't know what the commercial terms are, but what I do know for a fact, because free agent are very open about that, is RBS, NatWest, Metal pay free agent for the license. For every license that is given away as free to their customers, a monthly subscription is paid by them.
Yeah.
Now, it wouldn't take much for that discount to not be too much of a discount for them to actually be earning more per license for a sole trader there then Xero or QuickBooks or Sage could actually afford to charge, because if Xero are charging £7 a month, right? What's a sole trader at free agent, like £17.50?
Something like that, yeah.
Let's say that's discounted to £10 a month by to the bank. So the bank is paying £10 per month. Free agents actually got the ability to make more money out of this than going direct to market has.
Yeah.
So they can afford to put more development.
Yeah.
They can afford to invest more support. Whereas even for QuickBooks, Sage and Xero, this could be a real loss leading exercise, because they can't charge much more than £5, £6, £7, £8 a month for the subscription. The simpler users are normally more demanding on support resources. We know that as accountants and bookkeepers. Like, I get a lot more calls from my smaller clients than I do my big clients. So actually, free agent might be onto a winner here in a way that the others just can't be.
Yeah, potentially. What about AI? What about Jax? How's that coming into this flow? They're going to have some cool little features coming for MTD.
They're working on Jax, aren't they? Because they admitted they rushed it through, didn't they? So
no, it's fine as it is.
Is it?
I mean,
it's there, which is more than you could say for some softwares.
It is there. Is it capable of doing what they said it would do? No, but they are working on it.
Yeah.
And it can do it. Ultimately, it's going to end up doing what it's designed to do.
Yeah.
So if you're on the go, you can tell it what to do and it will do it. So yes, it's there. It's not ready, but it's there. And they're going to, I would think they will.
But I think that was a messaging issue, because I think Jax is good for the business owner.
Yeah, no, it is.
But we weren't told it was the current version's ideal for the business owner. We were led to believe it's ideal for us as well.
Yeah.
And actually, they've recognised that in Australia. They've announced that we're going to get our own dedicated version of it.
Yeah, they have.
Which is more complicated, more powerful. But you wouldn't want to give that to a business owner. No.
And once we see that and we've played with it, then we'll really get a better understanding of what it does. The Jax they've got there now is purely from like our clients, the business owner, be able to do some certain, I would say, the basic things.
But it saves them asking us to do the basic things.
And I think then that's where I think if we as accountants bookkeepers can educate the clients on that, that's a good tool to do. It's not perfect, but it can do it.
Okay. But is there anything coming their way with this new accounts version that's going to help us from an MTD point of view? Because that selfishly, that's what we care about, isn't it? There's not much meat on the bone.
I don't think we'll know until their roadshow next month.
Yeah.
Because they've done the XeroCon, but that was a worldwide thing. They're not going to talk about MTD at an Australian XeroCon, which is a worldwide event.
One thing they're very good at is they do it at their events. They drip feed it. They tease, and they announce, and they're good at doing it. Yeah, they suck us in. That's why we use them. But
it's like Apple all over again. It's another abusive relationship I'm in.
But we know it's announced, but also unless you're out there, I don't know what necessarily happens. So it's once we know more about it, we can then. But it sounds a lot powerful than what the Jaxes they've got now. Yeah, because hopefully it is designed for us to use.
Okay. So there should be something on the rise, and we'll just keep an eye on the road show for that. Amy, you were convinced at this moment in time? Are you?
Yes, she is. She's in.
She's in.
Clearly, I'm a little. I know. I'm not really. I'm not gonna lie. I'm kind of, because I'm not in the Xero space with my practice anyway. I'm not. I am predominantly QuickBooks, but I have got free agent. I have got Xero. I'm kind of thinking, why bother? It's going to create extra work for me to figure out who goes on what package, and it doesn't seem like a strong enough offering for me to go.
But I still don't think it was meant for that. I don't think it was meant to entice people in.
I appreciate that. If they're not bothered about it, cool.
I think it's solely used for their own people for productions who are in it, and that's the point.
They have their lane, haven't they?
Yeah, that's it.
They don't want big clients, like big organizations, and they don't want the small ones. They've got their middle ground, and they've got
what they're doing, and they're happy with that, and it works. Like I said, they've got the Xero HQ that allows them to feed through, and also if you're a Xero partner, it works.
Yeah,
you've got it all. And interesting seeing you'll be able to see the clients when they come on it. You can see it, and that's a reassurance as well. It does actually work. There's no missing people.
Yeah, but do you think as a practice though that if you're a Xero only, you've just got to stick to that lane then.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you stick to that lane, that's absolutely fine.
Yeah, if you stick to it, it's fine. It'll work.
Yeah.
It'll work for you. It's a solution. It's compliant. It gets to HMRC. It feeds to HMRC. The only thing that's got to work on is that, like I said, the calculation bit at the end. It doesn't work.
Yeah.
But they're working on it. So
Xero's go-to-market strategy has got nothing to do with Simple. Like, they don't have it on their radio ads. They don't have it on their TV ads. What they want is to get you to use Xero by talking about SIF analytics, tax and accounts production. Like, that's their go-to market. That's what they're talking about.
yeah.
If they wanted to make money and to go big on Simple, they'd be talking about it on advertising boards.
Well, at the moment they're talking about flying around on a ship, aren't they, and going around, Xero done.
I've got a question, Suzannah, because Xero did something with the ICB a while back, didn't they? About June, July time. They gave you like a full-on like sneak peek to it, didn't they?
I don't think we saw any of the functionality. There's been so many webinars about what is MTD and how's it going to work, but I've not seen anything from Xero about the actual sort of functionality of the filing.
So they didn't actually give you because I was led to believe there was a sneak peek that they were able to show you how it flowed through, like from how it looked. So obviously,
I can't remember.
It's kind of the demo they had on their stand.
So many
yesterday.
webinars.
So that so I was led to believe ICB got like a preview of it, like how it would work and the submission and what it actually looks like.
I can't remember seeing that, but then I might have missed it if it was on the summer when I was on holiday. But I don't know. I've seen so many webinars now of all the different softwares and all the MTD offerings and everything. It all blows into one after a while.
And there was a podcast out there that tried to consolidate it all for you.
Right? I'm trying to go through them. I was going to ask Suzannah actually. So after hearing James and Johan talking about it, what's your opinion? Because obviously me and you have got a lot of clients that were still in the space of not quite sure where to go. So are you of the opinion now, let's just do free agent because we know it works and it works perfectly, and obviously if someone's on Xero, they're on Xero anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
So good. Yeah. So new clients, potentially the free agent route, unless there's a particular reason why they want Xero.
That's exactly it. So if I've got anyone who isn't on software, my go-to is going to be free agent, because if they're not on software, you're already adding in a cost of software to the whole MTD pricing thing. So if you don't have to add in a cost, if you can get them on a metal bank account, especially if they haven't already got a business bank account, if you can get them on that and get them free agent for free, that makes it less painful, our fees that are going to increase, and moving them to a monthly bookkeeping fee or whatever. It's just one less sort of part of that price increase that you're going to have to sort of force onto them. So for me, and also for those clients, they are so small, and if they want to do their own invoicing and stuff like that, I haven't found anything more intuitive for a non-accounting sort of brain than free agent, and I just think it's kind of a bit of a no-brainer to put them on that. Having said that, if anyone had a burning desire to be on something different, probably from seeing adverts and stuff, then I'm happy to go along with that. But
I think Suzanne in the comments has said that she's waiting for Xero MTD. So I think actually, as accountants,
there's quite a lot of people
try it, and you are Xero users. If you want to try it as well, and you can't try it, you're still waiting. And
exactly
September now, it's coming. We need to have a bit of time for us to try it, to talk to our clients about it, to get them.
Exactly it. And I do have sole traders who are going to be mandated into MTD who are on Xero, and some who are on Sage as well. So I'm not looking to move them if it's working for them. But for those brand new ones, new to software, free agent will still be my go-to.
Interesting. So if I try and summarize it then, James, you and you're jumping as well, from what my opinion of this is, tell me if I'm right or wrong on this. So Xero's strength has always been, if you are, using their software in their way, you using their workflows and everything else, it's a dream to use, right? If you are, put it within their lanes, as we've just described, brilliant piece of software, and it's working as intended. I think we've seen a lot of firms get a lot of great growth out of that, great benefits out of that, because they've had support, because the laser focus, right? And Xero is focused on this particular type of client, this particular type of workflow, and it's building up on there. And I just feel like Xero's decided, and rightly wrongly, we can debate that, but they've decided to continue to maintain for that type of client, that lane. And if you're in there, then you can have a good solution by the sounds of it. It's going to do everything it needs to do. Yeah. It looks slick. It looks like they've thought about having that holistic view. It looks like they've given the things that us as accountants are worried about. Going from there, we just need more testing, don't we?
Need more testing. They always say they're lucky they got their fallback, which we know is the final recode. So they've got that within. So if anything's not allocated properly, you've got the ability to quickly move it. But you summed it up absolutely spot on. It is literally, if you're in that sort of system, it the start to finish works very well.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, no, I agree, and I think I still think that they've delivered simple just for tick box exercise, just to stop the competition saying Xero don't care, or Xero's not being compliant.
And also, if it's a growing client, if they're going to grow, then they will presumably move up the levels on the licenses, and they're likely to stick with whichever software they've started with. So it does make sense from that point of view.
Yeah, and also we were a huge. We've had a huge issue with this in Engager. In Engager, we did really low pricing for small firms, thinking they'll grow into bigger. The tiniest percentage have grown. So many firms are actually quite comfortable in that smaller tariff, and that's what they want. It delivers their lifestyle and their goals, and that's great. But I think as accountants, I did it as an accounting firm, I'll get the small ones in as they grow, my fees grow, and actually they're stagnant, and they have been for years, because that is achieving what they want.
Yeah.
There's very few that actually do go on to grow into high values. And I think Xero's probably recognized that in their data. I mean, let's face it, these guys have got data, QuickBooks have got data that we could only dream about seeing. And they've probably analyzed this and gone, right, we need to do something just for the sake of being seen as a player, because we don't want to be ignoring this like someone ignored cloud and thinking it was a gimmick.
We said at the start, didn't we? They were the last ones to sort of say they were doing it. So
but maybe it is because that's, again, most of these people aren't going to be in their lane. So do they really need to go for it? As long as they've got a solution to support their existing client base and existing accountants are happy. And if you are a firm looking to, try and get this big bubble of MTD, trying to go for work, got a feeling that most of those firms are going to be using other software to get that work. But that seems like it's fine from a Xero's point of view. They're not, like you said, they're not after that that part of the pie.
Yeah, it's like Xero on QuickBooks are trying desperately to play for the bigger businesses at the moment with enterprise and stuff. I'd argue after 2 or 3 years, it's not really working. But how much time and resource? No, not what was the one above the top package?
Advance.
The Advance, right? How many years have they tried to sell Advance? It's not really getting anywhere. And actually, Xero have gone, well, we could try doing something like that, or we just stick in our lane, like you say, because we're blooming good at it, and we're not wasting a lot of money trying to sell and flog a dead horse.
Yeah.
So I think there's a lot of business decisions gone on behind this.
And equally, Free Agent are very, very clear that they're not targeting big businesses. They're not, even their landlord solution, they're saying up to sort of 5 properties. We don't recommend you put more on there. They've got their niche. They know what works, and they're not trying to pretend to be anything more than that.
I would argue, as accountants and bookkeepers, we'd probably encourage a client to go limited if they had any plans to have more than 2 properties. Like if they had aspirations in property,
I'd have told them to if they've already got them or not, doesn't it? Though.
But and as I say, Free Agent, I don't know what the commercials are with their banks, but I know the banks do pay. It doesn't just go. It's not a blank free. It's not a zero valued license,
to it, isn't it?
The banks are paying
a
license fee of some sort. We don't know what that is, but even if it's only 50p more than say it's £7.50.
Mm.
They're making 50p per license at QuickBooks as a free agent, more than anyone else can able to charge.
Yeah, 100%. Just because we're running out of time, Suzannah, any questions to talk about to the Xero fanboys are in the room?
The only thing I was going to ask, James, you kind of mentioned it before, and I just wanted to clarify. You said that when you're doing the actual MTD filing in Xero, you can confirm at that point whether they're on cash accounting or accruals basis. Because
when you sign them up, sorry, when you sign them up.
So I thought I was going to say I thought it was when you sign them up. So I was wondering, does that mean you could change it relatively easily if you decided to at some point?
It's a good question.
Does it ask you
I haven't
that
actually done
question?
that.
You don't know.
At the moment, I've got either on cash or on accruals, and I haven't actually thought about playing with the changing yet. So
No, I thought
I'll
that was
go away
what
and
you
do that
said.
then.
That's me then who's misunderstood what you said. Sorry.
There's a drop down in the advanced financial settings of cash or accrual.
Yeah.
Now, what you need to sit down and work out is all your journals to make sure that you've journaled for the adjustments. But it is as easy as going, oh, it's on cash, drop down, accrual, save.
Yeah,
And
I
now
thought
it's
you
on
meant it
accrual
asks you that question as part of the filing process, and I was thinking that's quite dangerous. If anyone's
easy to play with that,
yeah,
so
if anyone's going, we're on accrual, we are on accruals, and then they've done it wrong for that filing.
Someone says to submit it, and it's like,
yeah,
don't I look at that tax? I'm going to change it.
If I change that to cash, oh, that's better.
No, you can't do it like that. No.
Good.
But like Johan said, it's in the settings. But
yeah, no, that's fine then.
Hashtag Audit Amy, what question would you like to throw to the Xero fanboys?
Is there? We've asked this question of everyone else. I know Xero's got its own practice management. Is there ability to record if you are reporting in other software? Reflect that in your Xero practice management.
Yeah, I think so.
Funnily enough, I've not looked at Xero's practice.
I think you can add.
I'm going to be absolutely honest. No, that's the one thing I
don't.
don't, because I don't use it as a practice management tool. I know.
No, well, I just mean it in like I know it has Xero practice management, but just like an interface. You talk about the interface, seeing whether it's something's been submitted or not, and the tax liability. Is there ability to have a client, if you have submitted it through free agent or tax calc, to record that within Xero?
Oh.
That's a good question. I would say you probably would be able to, but I'm not. Don't quote me on that, because as I say, I don't actually use it. I've looked.
We'll come back to that then.
I know you
In
can
theory,
add
some research. I'm going to add
non-Xero
comments in a
clients to the
minute.
list.
To be fair though, in theory, they probably can. Because if I go into Xero, so I moved clients from QuickBooks to Xero. I went into Xero and went into their tax and VAT.
Yeah.
And it listed all the old VAT filings and dates because it pulled it from the HMRC.
But it's pulling it back.
You can give it VAT.
Which, in theory, will be functional for MTD. Whether they've built it or not yet, different matter. But in theory, it's achievable.
You'd hope to, because if you move in software or anything like that, like it's not even if you're using some software, but clients are going to be clients. They're going to pick and choose software. And So hopefully,
So I would say it would probably be there. I've not.
Yeah.
As a user, I'd expect the same functionality as MTD VAT.
Yeah. Well, obviously we see it with some VAT.
Yeah.
Some clients just we've got a point of reference.
Yeah.
It's there. So I'm going to presume it's going to be the same for income tax.
Okay. And Kirsty's just put a question in.
Well, in fact, can you go through all the things for us? Is that all right? Because I can't read them from over here.
That's fine. So Kirsty said, do we know if the MRD have a submission?
We do.
Yeah, we'll have a submission log receipt. So will Xero give you back a submission log or a receipt within the software?
Oh yeah, that's in it. Yes, it is. You can get see that. Yes.
Good.
Awesome. Yeah.
And
can you just go through the other support? No, other just all the comments, just so we've shouted people out. Can you just quickly?
Yeah, so Kirsty was saying that restriction is a pain. I have a builder and lots of hues, grays, etc. End up combining into one bill. So she was just talking about the restrictions in Xero on
number
bill.
of invoices. Yeah.
And then Suzanne from Sisu Bookkeeping is also on the Xero MTD list, waiting.
Nice.
And then we go back to Marcus talking about Jonas Brothers, which I'm sure we'll find.
We've debated that enough.
As long as we don't have to sing.
We've given you a microphone. Do you know why we gave you a microphone like this?
God, here we go.
Or we've just had a message through from Stu. Hi, Stu. Free agent Stu. If it helps anyone with their own testing through the beta process in free agent, we've seen the most errors so far come from the situation where sole traders and LLs, landlords, are trying to file on one basis, cash or accruals, when they actually set up on another.
Wow.
So
Yeah,
actually,
that's a good point.
the ability to easily change is not necessarily a good thing.
No.
You would have thought like the simple start, or whether the Xero one is just cash, right?
Yeah, it's just cash.
Oh,
It's
it is.
literally,
Oh, so they don't
it's
have a
literally
choice,
just for
yeah.
the purpose of cash.
Okay.
Obviously, if you're restricted with 10 invoices, to get around it, you're just going to go on what's coming in and out of the bank.
Yeah. Makes sense. Interesting.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Maybe that's a status that actually HMRC should be pushing into softwares on their API of, by the way, this client's registered on cash or accrual.
Yeah.
You don't
Yeah.
register with sole trader, do you?
But if you filed in previous years on cash or accrual, you've set your standard.
And also, when you sign them up to MTD in the first place, in that sign-up process with HMRC, you have to say whether they are on cash basis or
Cash or
accruals
accruals.
basis.
Oh,
Actually,
you do, yeah,
HMRC
sorry.
need to
Yeah.
open that up on their API and feed it into the software for everyone's benefit.
Can they
And
do
when
that
you
with that at the
register for
same time?
MTD
That would be handy if they did that with that, because the ability to switch between them, you can just go, I'll go cash. Let's see which one it is. See
I
which
mean,
one's
you do
better.
that.
I mean, it's
have
good
the
to be able
ability
to
to
switch
do
when
it.
it's considered and it's thought through and there's a reason for it, but you don't want it to
Yeah.
be something that can just be toggled on or off willy-nilly.
Well, you don't want too much power in our hands. It's boring.
Right, final statement from both of you. So who wants to go first?
For me, Xero, if you're looking to use it, it works from start to finish. If you get it to work, and I say like it's your main point of call for your software, then it flows very nicely and it does a job, ticks the box, and you'll have no problems with it.
I just think maybe we're overthinking all of this. Like some of these products aren't there to like free agent, obviously playing for they want that market.
Yeah,
and rightly so. They've got a great product for that. Self-employed from QuickBooks, they're obviously interested in that market, and they've probably got a very wide range of sole traders, so they're going to have to do something, which they are. Xero's obviously looking at their demographic and going, well, we've got some we need to facilitate here, but actually, as I said, it's box ticking exercise, and it works. It's not there to try and convince us all to convert everybody to Xero. There's other tools and solutions they've got for that. That's what they talk about. So yeah, I think we need to stop looking at this and why are we all of a sudden talking about who are we going to use as our one provider? Like all these firms that are talking about one provider. Hang on a minute. For 5 years, you've all been using multiple providers for VAT.
Yeah.
So actually, why are we now reverting back to form and going, oh, we can only have one provider for MTD? We don't have one provider for VAT in my firm.
But there's an easy answer to that, though, isn't there? There's a lot more. You get a lot more fee out of a VAT return than we ever will do with MTD.
You do.
There's so much little meat on the bone. We need efficiencies. We need to, and one of those efficiencies is going to be keeping on one platform. Get this done.
But those filings don't have to be from free agent, QuickBooks, etc. Xero and Sage. They could be from TaxCalc as an example, which is what we're looking at. So we've got one filing platform, but the bookkeeping solution is the one that my client wants without us having to learn 4 different solutions.
Yeah.
And you're just going to have to eat that. The Xero one's going to take you longer because there's no automation there. There's no anything else. And you've just got to eat that in your price.
But I don't think it's going to hit us on Xero because I haven't got any users on clients on Xero that are worried MTD.
So back to that though, it looks like potentially Xero is not the right one for those clients.
It depends on your firm.
Yeah.
You need to assess it on your firm and your client basis. But
And this is why we're going through them all here on the Watch Series. Because one size does not fit all. And to be honest, one size doesn't fit me. And this
one size will probably not fit one firm. I think we are going to have to end up having multiple solutions.
Yeah.
I
like it or
completely
not.
agree. But we want multiple solutions that are going to help us deliver that service to the client.
And if it's cost sensitivity, then free agent's your solution.
But if it's cost sensitivity to you as a firm and you want automation, then there's other solutions that might be fair fit as well. Like that's why we're doing this. That's why we're going through, because you're right. There won't be one solution to fit all, but we need a reason to at least think about solution X and solution Y. I don't know what I've seen from Xero. If this simple solution is supposed to be their MTD product. I don't know where that fits. And
it's not their MTD products, it's their gateway, because their MTD product is their filing ability, and that's available on all their packages.
Okay.
So
where's your automation? Where's your, where's the stuff to help us deliver that? That's when the others are giving us that. The others are.
James has already gone through that. That's pulling through into the tax view. It's the ability
when the
to.
data's there, but what about getting the data in the first place? That's what I'm missing.
Yeah, and you have to spend time to do that.
Yeah,
and that's the point.
We've got to price that accordingly, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's the whole point of, and will people want to pay it? I don't know. And is that why, like I say, by having it all in Xero and we know it flows through, that removes that pain point.
Yeah, exactly. Brilliant. Well, there we are. We could hotly debate this for much longer. But next week we are going to look at it in a different. We're going to look at the tax calc option. We're going to see how that would work in terms of going around and bridging it in. So we're going to have that debate on that one. James, thank you so much for coming along. It's been a really interesting one, and thank you for flying the Xero flag.
Try my best.
No, you've done good job for them. Good job. And thank you for making your debut as well, Johan. We'll obviously be having you back on for more debates later down the line.
Look forward to it.
And we'll get James as well. Suzannah, anything you want to plug your end?
No. Can't think of anything now.
Amazing. Amy, anything you want to plug and any more comments come through?
Mahal says, thank you very much all. Nice to see you. And I saw him yesterday. It was great at Caltex. Being Counter Boss with James. Second episode came out on Wednesday. We've got QuickBooks Labs coming up next week, I think. Week after. I don't know. It's all a blur. I'm in audit season, so sorry, people. I am dipping in and out of life. But October, back to normal service.
Definitely. I didn't give you a chance to plug, James. Anything you want to plug?
Amy's done it for me.
There we are. That's what she was there
less
for.
the audit.
You're not getting a chance to plug. No. You plug enough. Thank you very much, everyone. Remember to keep commenting. Use the form to come back to if your list is not live and your list is later down the line. And next week, we'll be talking all about tax calc. So thank you very much. Thanks to James. And we need to get back to doing Cool Friends episodes. Keep an eye out for that as well. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.